digital learning platform.
Mohenjo-Daro, a 5,000 years old city.
Social Studies Class 8. Mohenjo-Daro, also known as Mohenjo-Daro and Mohenjo-Daro, was a city located in the south of modern Pakistan in the Sindh province, on the right bank of the Indus River in Larkana district. Sir John Hubert Marshall was the Director General of the Archaeological Survey of India from 1902 to 1928, who oversaw the excavations of Mohenjo-Daro. City of Mohenjo-Daro was built 5,000 years ago, and lasted until 3700 BP. It was part of the Indus Valley Civilization, and at its peak, the city had at least 35,000 residents.
The Indus Valley Civilization.
The Indus Valley was home to one of the world's first large civilizations. It began nearly 5,000 years ago in an area of modern-day Pakistan. There were more than 1,400 towns and cities in the Indus Valley. The biggest cities were Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro. Around 80,000 people lived in these cities of Indus Valley Civilization. The names Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro were given to the cities in later times. We do not know what the Mohenjo-Daro people called their cities, because nobody has been able to translate their ancient language.
Largest of the 5 civilizations.
It was the largest of the 5 ancient civilizations of Egypt, Mesopotamia, India, and China. However, of all these civilizations, the least is known about the Indus Valley people. Mohenjo-Daro people were engaged in trade with Egypt, Mesopotamia, and other parts of the rolled-through sea.
Lifestyle.
This was a sophisticated society with a wide-ranging diet that consisted of meat from both wild and domesticated animals and a variety of cultivated wheat, barley, peas, and lentils, a huge step forward in human progression from the nomadic hunter-gatherers.
The granary.
A granary is a structure for the storage and preservation of grain, and the people of Mohenjo-Daro had a big one. The people of Mohenjo-Daro may have used their granary as a community bank for their harvested grains, much as we use banks today.
Houses, sewage, and plumbing.
Houses in Mohenjo-Daro were similar in some ways to those of Mesopotamia and ancient Egypt. Houses were cool inside. Thick walls kept people cool in the heat of summer. Some houses had just one room. Big houses had lots of rooms arranged around a central courtyard. There were no windows onto the main street. This kept out dust and noise. Side windows let in light and air. From a model house found at Harappa, we can see that windows may have had wooden shutters with grills, barred openings, to let in air and light. The houses and other buildings of Mohenjo-Daro used both mud and fired bricks. Sewage from the houses of Mohenjo-Daro flowed into a sewer line that followed down the street grid.
Streets.
Many of the streets were covered with mud brick and were wide enough for an ox cart to drive down the middle. It is possible that the people of Mohenjo-Daro had shops on the lower levels of their houses, or they may have set up shop in front of their homes each day.
Clothes and hairstyles.
Pictures on seals and other artifacts show us how some people of Mohenjo-Daro dressed. It was hot all year round, so people did not need thick clothes to keep warm. Many workmen probably just wore a loincloth, which looked a bit like baggy shorts. Rich men wore tunics. Women wore dresses that probably covered much of the body. Both men and women wore jewelry, especially beads, and arm bangles. Some women had elegant hairstyles, with braids, and beads. Some arranged their hair in headdresses shaped like fans.
Courtyards or playing area for kids.
Most people living in Mohenjo-Daro had small homes which were also used as workshops. There was not much space to relax. For richer families, the courtyard was a pleasant, airy space, open to the sky. Children could play there, with toys and with pets such as monkeys, dogs, and birds. People could tend plants in pots, and enjoy the air. In the courtyard, a rich family had its own private well, for water. The very rich lived in grand houses with more than one courtyard, and 30 to 40 rooms.